Heat, thunderstorms, fire, lightning, caribou, weather dude YouTube channel. There it is. This is bad news.
Oh my God. Falling out right now.
Anything could happen. Get on! Wow. I'll watch the video later. They dry mop in this. All right, welcome back to this week's forecast. That's right, hit like, share, subscribe because it does help keep me alive, boost those algorithms, and that helps get me the ad revenue that puts food on my plate. Thank you very much. You can become a channel member if you want to help support the cause here. Okay, let's get on with some weather detail. It's Sunday evening, just about 6 p.m. at the time of recording. As you can see, our upper level low system continues to churn there in the Gulf of Alaska. Got that stuck there. And here's the tail from it there, feeding all this crap up to the coast, where it might seem to them like it's a very different story than what people are experiencing in the interior, where it's been much warmer and much nicer. Nonetheless, this is continuing for a little while longer. There is a threat, though, that some high pressure is going to start developing in this area and maybe break this pattern. All weather guys everywhere are like, I don't know what's going to happen next, because like really what the thing is, like, this can sit here for a little while. As soon as it moves one way or another a little bit, it's going to really set the table for a bunch of other things that can happen, but we're still sort of waiting to see what it's going to do, when it's going to budge. So we think this week there's going to be a lot of heat and there's going to be thunderstorms, because as you can see, it's helping shovel the heat up into southern British Columbia, out to the prairie. As you can see, fires are exploding in Saskatchewan today. And this just gives you a little bit of idea of that flow that's coming in for us and how it is helping to keep things overcast and maybe a little cooler than you'd think. It was 18 degrees here today, 19 degrees in Wells up here at 4,000 feet almost. Yet we didn't really see the sun at all today. So very warm considering. So we had this warm air kind of getting fed up here while we had this low trying to move in, and it's making for some wind and making for some frustration in the weather. The weather is fighting itself. Anyways, let's have a look at this too. Yeah, it looks like the fires in Saskatchewan there, the Camp Fire, the Shoe Fire, very, very active. There's another fire here that looks like it's very active. That one's north of the Paw. Not the same one we were looking at necessarily before, not the same activity. That little reserve community, we'll look at that in a minute, isn't near in the danger it used to be. You can see some fire activities making some smoke there in other parts of Manitoba, but nothing seems to be torching quite like these guys. The Camp, the Shoe Fire, showing a lot of activity today, a lot of activity. These guys look like they've been pretty active as well. Wolf and Point. Here at Pursuit, seems like the one sector it has showing a lot of activity. Looks like there's been a burn through there not too distant past, so that may help, and that water there may help kind of trap that fire a little bit, may help keep it down. Look at this guy. So you can see on the timing here, you can definitely tell that this guy's had a lot of activity today. What is exactly heat from the ground and what is heat from smoke? That's really hard to tell on these maps, so you can't get too excited. But the community we were looking at before was down here near the Paw, and they were the ones that were really Opisquayak First Nation here. So as you can see, this fire is way north of them here. Fire WE17017 at Kissising Lake, I guess that's called Kissising. A couple others in Manitoba showing a lot of activity. Things are pretty quiet in BC. Some of these guys down by the border, they've been very active the last few days. Looks like this guy's got a lot of water land around him, so that may deter it from moving freely, but looks like they're still showing lots of activity. They're still growing. There's not much of a ceiling with the warm weather on what they could be doing. And again, just to point out, British Columbia, very quiet right now, very quiet. No obvious fires, no obvious fire behavior being seen in BC from satellite so far today. And this corresponds to where our fire danger is. Saskatchewan looking really bad. Parts of Alberta pretty bad. The corner of northwestern Ontario, some of Manitoba, very, very, very bad. Getting much worse in the Northwest Territory. Starting to get worse in northeastern BC. Caribou beginning to dry out a little bit. And where are we thinking the buildup index is going to be tomorrow? A lot more than you think in the BC interior and a lot more in the northeast. So our fire danger isn't great there, but the buildup index is pretty high still now in a lot of places. BC, coastal BC, not so much. The Rockies, Kootenays, maybe less so. And it seems like there's a bit of a corner down there in the Cranbrook area where the fire danger may be creeping up there too as well. Quebec pretty quiet. All points east of that there. quiet. So thunderstorms coming to BC, yes. Nothing on here about that, though. I don't think we're going to see severe storms on Monday, but maybe in southeastern BC. Heat warning there near 30 Celsius up in northeastern Alberta. That's crazy. Smoke warnings, of course, across Manitoba and Saskatchewan, including this one here that's been putting a lot of bad air has been going into Winnipeg, especially, and down that eastern flank of Manitoba as well from some of those fires, although, as we just saw, they haven't been showing a lot of activity today. And, of course, it's probably like a blizzard warning or some bullshit up here. Wind warning, 100 kilometers an hour. And what do we have for New Brunswick? Here we got a frost advisory for them. There you go, guys. Okay, where are thunderstorms Sunday night going to be? Possibly, we're going to see some moisture at least moving through here. They're going to be electric probably by the time they reach the border, how far they get across and what goes on. There could be some thunderstorm activity overnight through that central section of BC as you get further north, kind of more up towards Caribou Mountains here. That A area going to have a little bit larger size hail and some strong wind gusts in there. Easy to believe we've had strong wind gusts already today. The B area still showing like hail potential and whatnot. So we could have some pretty strong storms over the night coming in. And Monday looks to be a go for thunderstorms from Fort Nelson right down to Cranbrook. We could see thunderstorms develop in any one of these regions, so we'll be watching tomorrow. Looks like the strongest storms are going to be in that sort of Cranbrook and north, that southeast corner of BC down there, Cranbrook and all points north of along the Rockies. Late Monday afternoon here, looking at 17s through lower Caribou, and fairly warm in northern BC, 22s up there. That's going to help your fire danger up through Fort Simpson. Higher temperature up there. Very, very warm, like we saw that Fort McMurray area into that heat warning, and all points north of could see some really warm temperatures. Even Arviat looking at 22 degrees on Monday. Really crazy, really crazy. Mid-20s through the prairies or better. Not bad at all Monday. And Tuesday, going to get warmer here. So overnight tonight, this garbage weather hammering into the eastern side of BC slowly. You can see the thunderstorm activity is expected on the American side, but we could see some of that light up in the BC interior over the night, out towards the Rockies and whatnot. See where that actually ends up going. Monday morning, some lingering showers there in the Vernon area. Pretty clear through the rest of Canada until you get to Alberta. The rest of Western Canada, where we're going to be seeing thunderstorms firing off early afternoon. You're going to see thunderstorms in the BC interior as well. Look at that, strong thunderstorm possibility. This is fire danger here. Very hot temperatures, very dry air, thunderstorm activity all the way down through Alberta. Very concerned about this one for sure. And all the new fire starts we might see in the north. We could see, of course, this looks like it's more high precip thunderstorm event than it is low precip. Over here we got low precip thunderstorm event, where it's like a lot of lightning seems to be showing up in those monikers, but we're not seeing really the corresponding rain colors around it, whereas you see the little darker here, got a lot more rain embedded. So that's good for us. We're going to get some rain with it. Maybe a little less so up north, but I think by the time it's all said and done, even they will be getting a little bit of rain from this sort of band moving on through. You can see that upper level low is going to start pushing again against Haida and whatnot. They probably don't even know what nice weather is like right there. You can see like Vernon 16 in the evening and Jedway at 9. So, very different weather there. Very windy along the coast on Monday night. Could see a little bit of snowfall and flurries up in the high mountains. That seems pretty crazy considering what we're going to be looking at for forecasts next. Those thunderstorms dying off early Tuesday morning for the most part by the Saskatchewan border, but going to be ready to start firing up as soon as the sun light's there to start heating the ground again. Northern BC taking a lot more precip, the coast taking a lot of precip, but not so much for the rest of the interior BC, where we're going to have a lot of this instability keep getting thrown in, but this high pressure is trying to block now. This is the developing high pressure I was talking about. If this can start developing and settling in, if this can really take root, it could be a big game changer for the direction of our weather for a while to come. Right now, I'm not willing to guess yet at that, but as you can see, it's really blocking for us. It's really blocking on Tuesday, steering things to the north for at least that day, keeping us a little bit clearer. And Wednesday should be much the same as the heat really builds in. The heat's going to really build in on Tuesday and Wednesday. So we're going to just skip ahead a little bit here to Wednesday, 11 a.m., skip over at the temperature. We know the coast is getting rained on. See those warm numbers, icons, 26s, 27 Williams Lake there, 27 Fort St. John, even warmer, 28. All through the north up to Hay River, 24s. That's really, really, really warm temperatures Spokane, Washington at 30 there, Vancouver at 26, Seattle at 30. And you can see the fire weather increasing, the danger increasing through the prairies, through Manitoba, as more and more of this heat's going to keep making it to them. And this heat comes with very low humidex values. So this is a concern. Even BC is getting warm, and we are finding ourselves with low humidity. So we could be seeing crossover fire weather on Wednesday in some places, 32, 27, 26%. So it's right around the cusp, but that's some active fire weather. Of course, not all the fuels everywhere are going to be very conducive to burning. That is region by region what that's going to look like, but certainly it's not looking too good for the north, even though they're a little bit cooler up there and a little less dry on the whole compared to like Saskatchewan, where this is really explosive. Flin Flon at 27 and 25% humidity. So during the day, you're going to see some of those fires really start to explode this week, and we are concerned about that. We're going to skip back over to rain and thunder now. As you can see, that's still pounding up the coast. Haida just taking the shit. They're really not having a great time. And then we start to see some possible thunderstorms starting up on Wednesday night already. BC Interior, Mackenzie area, you look to be the first target there Wednesday night. Maybe. I wouldn't bank on it necessarily too much. It's models are ever developing and changing. It seems like a little bit of an aberration, but don't be surprised if that happens. We got this starting to try to push in. The high and the lows are really fighting each other here. They're trying to push in, and we're going to see what comes of that. We got the heat now inland. We got this moisture, this instability coming inland. I think Thursday is going to be a thunderstorm day. I think southern BC is going to see it real good. Look at that. So our fire danger is going to be creeping up through the week with the dry weather, and some of this looks like it's more lightning than rain. Certainly on the Alberta side, really bad sign for you for your forest fire danger. Warm temperatures, dry conditions, drying out fuels, and at least we get a little bit more precip on the backside here for BC as this low starts to develop and try to make its way across. So we got a big bend in the isobars there, right? Big shortwave troughing going on, and that's going to fire off some lightning across the north there. So some people are going to get the benefit of some rain. Some are not so much. So we're going to see some new fire starts through this next week coming up in Western Canada. Certainly Saskatchewan looks to be the worst, and Manitoba and Alberta, though BC, particularly the Northeast, isn't great. We know the South is going to dry out. We know that Northwest Territories aren't going to be looking great too. So we're going to be watching to see how fire activity continues to increase this week in Western Canada. I hope that helps set the record straight just a little bit about what's going to happen this week. Plan your work week around it. Looks like Monday's going to be pretty crappy for the BC Interior. Looks like Thursday could be too. Tuesday, Wednesday going to be the hot days. Hit like, share, subscribe. We'll see you around. Okay, bye now.